Hello and welcome to week 11 of personal branding. This week we're going to be going over email etiquette. So what is email etiquette? It is a code of conduct for email communication. It varies, depends on who you're writing to. So your friends and family versus partners or customers, superiors, meaning bosses, supervisors, or your subordinates. A form of communication which is a reflection of senders and responders. Bad email etiquette reflects badly on us, and a record of this is kept in mailboxes over which we have no control, so these emails are always archived. Good email etiquette reflects well on us, improves our public perception and persona, and increases the chance of a prompt and comprehensive response. So some good email etiquette is professionalism. Always keep it professional. Use proper email language. Your company will convey a professional image. Efficiency. Emails that get to the point are much more effective than poorly worded emails. So take your time when you're writing your emails and reread them before you send them. Protection from liability. Employee awareness of email risk while protecting your company from costly lawsuits. So when you have a phone conversation with someone, always follow up with an email saying, hey, great chatting with you today. Just following up on our phone conversation. Here are the action items listed below that were discussed and the solutions, as an example. So always have a paper trail and always have it in an email in writing. So writing an email, identify the purpose of the message and determining what the recipient reading the message has to do. Focus on your objective. Achieve the 5 I's, which are to inform, inquire, influence, instruct, and incite. Focus your content. Don't let unnecessary ideas impose on your principal message. So don't go off on any tangents. Focus on what your message is about. So writing the email, we have the to line. Each individual on the to line is responsible for response or taking the action or part of the action. The CC line is used for no action or response is expected of individuals. The individuals who work is indirectly affected by the communication should be included on the CC line. The BCC line, which is also called the blind courtesy copy, our recipients are invisible to other recipients. So the BCC line works well for groups. If you're sending to, for example, you're sending to a group of 20 people, you may not want those people to have the other people's email addresses, or you may want those people to know who's actually on this email. So the BCC line is perfect for that. When writing an email, the subject line should effectively summarize the message. If the subject line is clearly written, each recipient on the to line will have a clear understanding of the objective that the message relates to. So the subject line should effectively summarize the message. Keep it short and sweet. Don't have it be super long. 6 to 7 words max. Never use capital letters. Never use weird, a bunch of exclamation marks. Keep it professional. Use regular language. And replying, change the subject line when the topic changes, or I would rather have people start a new email thread. So if you're completely changing the subject of the email, it's best to start a new email thread so that later when you need to search for these emails, it makes searching for it way easier. So also when writing an email, begin with a line of thanks. Find any way to thank target receivers. This will put them at ease and it will make you appear more courteous. For example, thank you for contacting Group QA, thank you for your prompt response, etc. In the first 1 to 3 lines of your email, specify what the email is about. Include any actions with a deadline. So please provide the reconcile report of November 2015 by 10th of December 2015. Who needs to respond? Can you attend the staff meeting on Saturday? Does the recipient only need to read the email? Sometimes yes, they don't need to respond back. An example would be, please read the attached HR action plan before next HR meeting on December 12th. And for information only, another type of email where you don't have to respond back to. Enclosed for your records. Email privacy. Email is not and never has been private. Once you send an email, the recipient can and will do what they want with it. This includes forwarding to other people. If you need to share private information, pick up the phone, use a different secure system, or use coded attachments. Use your corporate email for work only. Never use it for personal use. Corporate email is not private. It's always archived. It can be monitored. People can check it at any time. Use your private email for anything personal, and be careful of going back and forth with coworkers with jokes and different links and memes and photos. Don't send that. Don't send it from your corporate email, your business email at all. If you are receiving it, just simply write back and say, please stop sending me this sort of messages. Let's keep it professional. Because you receiving it can also get in trouble. I've seen it before. Reply or reply to all. This is a big pet peeve of mine. I can't believe how many older people in the business world, corporate world, do not know how to use reply and reply all properly. So always ask yourself, when you're hitting reply or reply all, does everyone need to know this information? Usually the answer is no. Each email should be replied to within at least 24 hours and preferably within the same working day. However, if an email is complicated and it's going to take you some time, research, or you need to talk to people and get back to them, always email the person back right away and say, hey, let me look into this situation and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So that that person at least knows you're not ignoring them, you received their email, and that it's being worked on. Respond only to messages that require one. So again, if someone's sending you a message, hey, this documents are for your archive only, you don't need to respond back. Be conscious of responding to the sender or reply to all. Do not overuse reply to all. Writing an email. Ending an email professionally is just as important as perfecting the rest of the message. Courtesy is always important no matter how short the email is. Good examples of an ending could be, thank you for your patience and cooperation. Thank you for your consideration. I always say, if it is kind of a longer email, I like to say, thank you for taking the time to read through this lengthy email, or thank you for taking the time to, anything with thanks is good. Include an accurate follow-up statement. I will send you additional information. I look forward to receiving your input. If you have any questions or concerns, do let me know. So always being courteous in your ending as well. A professional signature makes it easy to contact you. Full professional name, job title, business phone, fax if you have a fax, business street address, business website, and a legal disclaimer if your company has one. Usually if you work for a big company for branding purposes, they will tell you what and how to put in your email signature. I would stay away from any images or graphics because more than likely the receiver is not going to be able to receive them and you're going to get one of those weird looking squares. So I tend to keep the images out of my signature. Also, keep your fonts, font sizes, and colors professional and standard. Don't get all crazy with some, blue or teal or purple script font for your name. Keep it professional, standard fonts, colors, and sizes. Also on your email signature, since people respond to emails through their phone a lot these days, make sure that in your iPhone, I don't know how Android does this, but in the iPhone, there is a section under emails where you can create your signature. Please create your signature for your emails in your phone so that when you send an email from your phone, it doesn't just say sent from iPhone. It actually has your whole signature in it. Some email do's. Write in a positive tone. Be concise and to the point. Do not make an email longer than it needs to be. So again, short and sweet. People have short attention spans. Get to the point. Address all the questions or concerns to avoid delays. If there's numerous questions, I always like to put them in either bullets or numbers is even better so that the recipient can see, okay, she has 5 questions. Let me make sure I answer all 5 of them. It's a lot less likely to skip a question if they are numbered or bulleted instead of being all in the same paragraph. Use proper spelling, grammar, and punctuation, just like writing any sort of business correspondence. Read the email before you send it so you proof it. Provide all supporting information that will help the recipient complete an action or respond successfully, so don't forget your attachments. Keep your language gender neutral, avoid using urgent and important, and always use proper structure and layout. Some email don'ts. Do not use email to discuss confidential information. Again, that's something that you need to discuss in person or over the phone. Don't overuse the high priority function, so just like crying wolf, make sure if you're using that high priority, it's really a high priority. Never respond if you're upset. It's okay to draft an email if you're upset or angry, but walk away from it. Maybe even take a whole day or half a day. Get something to eat, because sometimes when we're hangry, we write mean emails, right? And then come back to the email later and make sure you reread it and that it's all professional before sending it off. If you want to, have someone else read it as well. Don't forget to attach your documents. Never use sarcasm or rude jokes. Do not write in capitals. Do not use abbreviations. So all this text lingo, instead of putting LMK, make sure that you spell it all out. Let me know. Don't write a long introduction. Okay, so that's the lecture for email etiquette, and I have an email exercise for you guys to do, which will have to do with your discussion for this week. This week we are doing the discussion. This is actually a discussion for week 11. It's discussion 6 for week 11. So you will be given 4 email writing prompts on the following slide. Each response must include components from the lecture. Choose one of the prompts and write an email response to it. Share this in the class discussion for week 11, which is also called discussion 6. So the email exercise. These are the 4 scenarios for you. 1, a letter of application. You have heard positive things about a particular company. Although you do not know of a job opening there, you would like to be considered when a suitable position becomes available. Write a letter to the Human Resources Director expressing your interest in working for the company. This letter would accompany a resume which provides greater detail. I put letter in here, but I mean email. So let me fix that real quick. Okay, number 2, requesting permission. Your company, Chandler Corp., is planning a staff softball game and picnic. Write a letter to the Community Parks Department requesting permission to hold this event at a local park. Again, I'll edit this to say email. Complaint to a supplier. So scenario number 3, your company has regularly purchased storage boxes for its computer software. Products from one supplier. Recently, orders have not been filled promptly and deliveries have arrived with an unusual number of broken boxes. Your company is very concerned about this situation. Write an email to the supplier presenting your company's complaints. And the last scenario is appreciation. Your manager, Miss Gray, has recommended you for a small select training program. Write an email to Miss Gray expressing your appreciation for this opportunity. So 4 completely different scenarios that you can choose from. And again, this will be posted in discussion 6 under week 11. So email me if you have any questions on this. Otherwise, I look forward to reading your posts in the discussion forum.